Hello, Glacier Hills lovely residents. This is Ingrid, and since there's no U of M football this season, we thought we would still have a little activity at the stadium. So coming to you from Michigan Stadium, the big house, we're going to do a little bit of exercise today. I'm sitting in a nice stable chair. I'm actually going to move away from the back of the chair to the front of the chair, and I'm going to start with doing a little posture check. So I'm going to lift my shoulders, I'm going to bring them back, and I'm going to set them down. And I actually want to read to you a little bit from an article that I read yesterday about what dentists are seeing after the pandemic started in February, March in their dental practices. And it was an article that is written by a dentist from a Midtown Manhattan dental office. Apparently they're seeing a lot of fractured teeth. And so dentists are wondering what's going on. And it has to do with us holding a lot of tension in our bodies, and also more people working from home and hunching over their workspace. So this article was written by a dentist by the name of Tammy Chen, and she writes that she's wondering what's going on and how our bodies are holding a lot of this stress. And it has to do with some of it, this hunching over and the C shape of our curve, and how it's affecting the nerves going into the jaw and the skull. So I want to just remind you that exercise and some activity, which we're all going to do just from the chair today, is good in reducing your tension overall, maybe enhancing your sleep a little bit, helping you with your mobility and strength, and hopefully it'll create an awareness of this posture, that when you're sitting and when you're standing, you're thinking of your ears, over your shoulders, over your hips, and when you are standing, over your knees and over your ankles, so that you are creating this nice straight line. And again, when you're sitting and you find yourself maybe hunching over that C-spine, that you are bringing the shoulders back, you're lifting up, bringing them back, and then setting them down. So let's go ahead and start with that position, more in the front of your chair, saying goodbye to the back of the chair, engaging the core. And remember, this is your workout, so you are doing what's comfortable for you. And maybe you're having a little bit of water before you start, maybe you have a little bit of water after you start. We're going to focus on the upper body and the core today, but we're going to do a little warm-up that incorporates our whole body, starting with our feet. So we're going to press our toes into the floor and lift the heels, and we're engaging our calf muscles, so the lower leg in the back as we're doing that. And then we're going to shift our feet back so that our heels are pushing into the floor and our toes are lifted. And then by doing that, pushing those heels into the ground, we're creating some tension in the front of our lower legs. So you should be feeling a little tension here. Let's do that again. Push into the toes, lift the heels, and rock those feet back, dig the heels in, push into the heels, and feel that tension in the front of the legs. I'm going to turn just so that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I'm pushing into the toes, lifting the heels, and then rocking those feet back, pushing the heels in, lifting the toes, feeling the tension in the front of the legs. And again, I'm trying to maintain that good posture. So doing everything from this, having an awareness of that good posture with the shoulders back. Good. Then let's go ahead and point and flex one foot. I'm going to lift and lower. So I'm not just engaging my ankle here but I'm warming up the hip as well. So I'm pointing and flexing the foot. And point and flex. I'm looking at one spot on the floor that I can put my toe. I then put my heel in that spot. So really working on the ankle. Not so much at the knee, but more at the ankle, also lifting and lowering here at the hip. I'm going to turn so that you can see that better when I'm doing that with the other foot now. So I switched to the other side. So it's like my leg is a piston. I'm lifting and lowering from the hip and working on the ankle. I'm pointing and flexing, really warming up the ankle. Good. And I'm going to face you again, and I'm going to lift one leg, keep it lifted, and rotate through the ankle. So rotating in one direction, and then I'll reverse and rotate in the other. So again, warming up that ankle. Good idea to do this. Now I've switched to the other leg. Good idea to do this before you stand up and get ready to move around. That you've already gotten your muscles warmed up in the lower legs and the ankles. Good. And what if we try that lifting both? That definitely does something different. I can tell I'm engaging my core muscles, my abdominal muscles, my back muscles as I lift both feet off the floor. And again, I'm using a nice stable chair here. Good. All right, let's take a deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And now let's work a little bit higher. We've done our toes, we've done our ankles. We're going to work on the knee. So I'm lifting again from the hip. I'm extending and bending through the knee here. And 3, let's go for 5. And 4, and 5. And just so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, I'm lifting the other leg now. I'm extending and bending. And 2, warming up the knee. And 3, and 4, last one, and 5. Good, I'll face you again. And now I'm just going to march it out a little bit. So lifting and lowering one leg at a time, alternating, warming up a little bit more through the hips. And now we're going to challenge the legs a little bit by lifting and holding. 2, 3, and lowering. Other leg, I'm going to lift and hold. 2, 3, and lower. And now I'm going to lift, I'm going to extend that leg and hold. 2, 3. Definitely more challenging because I've got more weight coming out because I'm now extending that leg and holding for a count of 3. Let's do that again, but this time we're going to extend. We're going to point and flex, point and flex. One more time, point and flex, really engaging our quadricep muscles here. So you should be feeling a lot of tension here as you're holding that leg up. Let's try that on the other side. Lift, extend, and we're going to point and flex for 3 times. This is 2. Last one, point, flex. Now we're going to hold, really feeling that in the quadricep muscles here. Good. We're doing that one more time. We're going to lift, but this time we'll pulse. We're lifting. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wow. Okay, let's try that on the other side. And we're lifting. Keep that foot flexed. And 3, 4, and 5. Whew. Okay, I can really feel that in the quadricep muscles. You might actually want to do that, massage those muscles a little bit. Good. And let's take one leg out to the side, then the other. And we're getting our heart rate up a little bit while doing this, especially now when we do this with both legs at the same time. So that requires us to hop the feet out and then back in. And maybe you're leaning back a little bit, again, engaging that core. So out and in. And we're breathing continuously. We're not holding our breath. And let's do 2 more. Excellent. Again, take a deeper breath. Let's do a little stretching by extending both legs straight out. We're going to lean forward, we're going to hinge forward from the hips and let our stretch come into the low back, into the glutes, and into the back of the legs, so the hamstrings, which tend to get tight from sitting. So I'm leaning forward, feeling that stretch, coming back to sitting up in that nice posture. In fact, I'm going to lift the shoulders, bring them back, set them down, and then lean forward again. Again, feeling that stretch come into the low back, into the glutes, and into the hamstrings. Excellent. Good. All right, working our way up. Let's work on the core a little bit more by crossing our arms. We're going to lean back and feel for the back of the chair. Again, continuously inhaling and exhaling, not holding your breath. We're doing some chair sit-ups. Here's 2. Good, let's go for 5 and 3. Good, I'll turn for these last 2 so that you can really see what I'm doing. And 4, I don't have the back of the chair to stop me, so I'll have to be careful here so that I don't fall off the chair. You've got the back of the chair. Good, let's do 1 more for good measure. We're leaning back, engaging the core. You should feel that bracing feeling in the abdominal area, the back area. And let's sit up. Good job. Okay, let's go ahead and extend our arms out to the side. And we're using our arms as our weight. If at any time you feel like I need a little bit more challenge, I've actually brought some little bottles that you could use as hand weights. So if we're doing a bicep curl, feel free to pick up some water bottles if you happen to have them, or maybe you have little weights, little 1 or 2 or 3 pound weights, or if you have cans. I happen to have some tomato paste here. You could use that to give you a little bit more resistance. But I'm just going to use my arms as my weight. So let's go ahead and warm up the wrists by rolling them forward and then reversing. Good. And let's get a little rotation through the upper body by turning and then letting your gaze go, follow your hand and your arm behind you and hold, face forward again, and then let's turn, a little rotation through that upper body. Let your gaze follow your arm behind you. Good. And let's get a little side body stretch by either holding on to the elbows or reaching up towards the ceiling, or for me, the sky. I'm actually going to hold on to one wrist and I'm going to lean to the side. And in order to give myself a little bit more of a base of support, I'm widening my stance with my feet. So a little side body stretch, holding here, back to the middle, switch, hold on to the other wrist, a little side body stretch, and back to the middle. Okay, let's go ahead and do some big forward arm circles. And 3. Good. And then let's reverse. 3 reversed. 1 and 2. Last one. 3. Excellent. And let's work on head and neck a little bit, and then we're going to go back and work a little bit more on shoulders and on core. Okay, head and neck. Let's go ahead and lower our chin towards the chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. And coming back up to our neutral position, and then gently tilting the head back, chin up towards the ceiling or the sky. Opening and closing the mouth. Feeling the stretch across the front of the neck. Good, and then let's tilt the head to the side, ear towards the shoulder. And other side, ear towards the shoulder. And you can hear probably there's a lot of activity going on here at the stadium, just not in the stadium. Let's turn and bring the chin down towards the shoulder. So feeling the stretch in the side of the neck. And back to our neutral position. And then let's turn to the other side, chin down towards the shoulder. Good, back to neutral. And then let's go ahead and circle the head gently in one direction. And then gently in the other. Good, okay. So our body should be warmed up. Maybe shake the hands a little bit. Let's go ahead and open and close the fingers. Make a fist, open the hands, wiggle the fingers. And then let's focus a little bit more on the arms. So let's start by stretching the arms out, palms up, and let's do some shoulder touches. Again, this is where you could add a weight if you wanted to, or a little bottle or a can, whatever you want to add a little more resistance. But your arms are providing the weight for you by having them extended and then you're bending. So we're doing a little bit for the biceps here, definitely working the shoulders. Let's take the arms to the side. Same thing, shoulder touches. Good. Let's do 2 more. Good. And let's bring the shoulders down. And let's lift them up towards the ears and then push them down. So a little bit of stretching here in between our strength exercises. One more time, lift and lower. Good. Let's take our arms out to the side, so goalpost style. That's appropriate for where we are. And let's bring the hands together. I'm stretching out the upper back so those posture muscles are getting stretched. So bringing your hands and elbows in front of the body, they don't have to touch. And then let's bring them out to the side and get that stretch in the chest. Good. From here, let's do some reaches up towards the ceiling, towards the sky for me, and 2. Good. We'll do 1 more, and 3. Good. Bring the arms down to the side, palms facing down. And bring the arms down to the side, up towards the front, out to the side, and down, up to the front, out to the side, and down. Now we're going to reverse that. Arms come out to the side, to the front, and down, out to the side, to the front, and down. Let's do that one more time. Out to the side, to the front, and down. Good. Let's give the shoulders a little bit of a break. And let's do some reverse shoulder circles. So what I'm doing is lifting, bringing them back down all the way around. So this exaggerated reverse shoulder circle. Good. Let's do that one more time. Good. And then let's bring the arms together in front of the body and get a little bit of rotation in the upper body. I'm doing a figure 8 that's lying on its side. So I guess it's the infinity sign. So I'm making a little circle on one side, coming back to the middle, and then making a circle on the other side. So really feeling that in the triceps here as I'm bringing the arm across the body. I'm circling back to the middle and then going to the other extreme, feeling that stretch across the triceps in the other side, circling, and definitely feeling a little rotation through that upper body as I'm doing my lying down figure 8. Good, let's do that one more time on each side. So here's one, back to the middle, here's the other. Good. All right, let's shake everything out. Again, let's rotate through the wrists, one direction, then the other. Open and close the hands. Take some deeper breaths. And 2. Good. All right, let's do some arm circles to the front. So working the arms a little bit differently. I'm doing circles in one direction, and then I'm doing circles in the other direction. Good. So we did our figure 8. We're doing our little circles. We'll do one more pattern here, and that's bringing the arms together, and we're doing an oval. Okay, in one direction. And I've got a little bit of rotation through the upper body, and I'm going to switch and go in the other direction. And you're only doing what's comfortable for you. If this is comfortable, great, do that. Switch directions and switch. Good, and one more time. Excellent, okay. Again, shake it out. Good, lift and lower the shoulders. Excellent. All right, let's work a little bit more on core. So again, I'm scooching more towards the front of my chair. I'm going to lean back, engage the core. I've got my hands together, I'm holding onto one fist, and I'm doing what's called a Russian twist, where you bring your hands to one side, to the outside of the hips, and then to the other side. And I'm breathing the whole time. Inhaling, exhaling. Bracing myself in the middle, but that should not prevent you from inhaling and exhaling the whole time. And let's do 2 more. Good. Let's sit up and do that stretch again, where we're extending the legs, we're hinging forward from the hips, and this time, last time we didn't include the arms, so let's do that and reach forward with your hands either towards the your legs, your knees, your lower legs. So leaning forward, maybe even reaching towards your toes. Good, and sit up. Let's bend one leg, extend the arms to the side, rotate and lean forward. So we're getting a little side body stretch in there, maybe even looking back over your shoulder. Good, and then let's try that with the other leg. And you're extending the other leg, extending the arms to the side, little rotation through the upper body, reaching forward. Maybe it's your thigh, your knee, your lower leg, maybe it's even your foot, and maybe looking over the shoulder. Good. And I think that is our exercise class for today in front of the Michigan Stadium. Go Blue. Mwah.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 250-member Michigan Marching Band. Band, take the field.